Going on, guys? Devin here with another episode of the Godward journey. I believe episode 8. I haven't been doing these because I've been kind of sick lately, but I have been drowning in thoughts the last basically all of today. So these verses that I chose for today are pretty significant to what I've been going through recently, as in the last couple weeks or so. But I'm going to read the verses first, and then I'll kind of just talk about how these verses incorporate into what I've been dealing with. The first verse is from Romans 7:15. States, "For I do not understand what I am doing, because I do not practice what I want to do, but I do what I hate." And that really just talks about, as I interpret it, that's basically like I want something, but I also don't want something. And that's something that I've been dealing with recently, because I feel like I have a lot of stuff I want to accomplish in life and a lot of things I'm working towards currently. But I almost feel like right now I don't want that, because I'm just so overwhelmed with everything that is happening. It's like I feel like I don't have a break ever. Like, I'm always doing something, and sometimes I just want to sit and do nothing. And I never really have that opportunity. Or I get in my headspace and I get lost in my mind, and it's like I need to be doing this, but I end up just doing nothing instead, because I don't even know how to explain the feeling, but it's like I want to do something, but I also don't want to do it at the same time. I've been running into this a lot, because honestly, recently, I feel like in this section, I'm actually going to read the next verse, and then I'll talk about it, because that ties into exactly what this other verse is. So the verse is Proverbs 18:24. "One with many friends may be harmed, but there is a friend who stays closer than a brother." And this ties in because, honestly, recently I've been hearing a lot. I feel like I had too many people in my life, and I was basically the last couple weeks going and evaluating all the people I surrounded myself with. And the more I evaluated them and thought about it, these guys, the people I surrounded myself, really were not on the same page as me, and they were just not good influences for me. So I slowly started dwindling people out of my life. And these verses both tie together super well for what I've been dealing with. That I'm wanting to make my circle smaller, so I'm not around a lot of people. But oh my, I feel so lonely right now. I want to accomplish things, so I enjoy being alone, because I've heard a lot that if you want to be successful, you got to learn to be alone, which I 100% agree with. But it's some days being alone every single day is the worst thing ever, because I just sit there and I didn't have any overthinking or anything, but now I just find myself just almost lost. I don't know what I'm doing, and it's there's just so many things that are popping up, and it's I shrunk my circle from 20 people to 4, and it feels a lot nicer not having to keep up with all these people, or make these other people happy. I can learn, focus on my own happiness. But there's also that time where I just feel alone, and it's I'm inviting a couple other people into my life, but now as I invite those people into my life, it's like almost like I'm almost like second guessing myself. And I don't know if like anybody else might have experienced this before, but like right now I enjoy who I am, but I am also extremely lonely. Like I spend every single night and every single day after work talking to absolutely nobody. And I just sit in my room doing my own thing, and like I enjoy being alone for the most part, for most of the time. But I'm still a pretty social person. Like I want to communicate and speak and talk and hang out with other people. It's just I don't. It's just the times where I want to do something or talk with somebody, spend time with somebody, I can't or I don't. And I'm just like stuck in this middle ground. And I like invited, not gonna say much else about it, but I invited these other people, a couple other people into my life. I'll spend time with them. And I really enjoyed their presence. But now I'm almost like second guessing myself. Like I feel like I was given a sign from God to let these people into my life because they're going to be good for me and my growth. But then it's almost like the devil is speaking to me and like throwing all these thoughts into my mind to make it so I try to push them away. It's like this person is really good for me, and it's going to be a very good God loving relationship, but I'm letting my thoughts possibly push that relationship aside and not let it into my life. And I actually, that's where I'm like kind of need to like get back my mental state right now, because I literally prayed one of the most powerful prayers ever. And I said, God, if you do not want these people in my life or they're not a part of my plan, it is your will to remove them from this as immediately as possible. And it's been a week now, and these people are still in my life, and I'm still talking to them. So I feel like God has literally told me that, like, hey, these people, they're good for you. These are going to be good, God loving relationships. You need to keep them in your life, but yet I'm still sitting here, not knowing what I'm doing, and still feeling like I'm going to eventually push them away. And it's just like, it's this feeling of not wanting to be alone, but you're just extremely alone all the time. Like, especially like a day like today. Like I'm on call for work, so I can't even leave the house and go do anything. So I've basically been trapped in my room for now the last 12 hours, just working on random stuff. But there's also so much I can just do in my room or in my house. Like I can't leave the house, so it's just like I feel like today I'm just rotting away and spending all this time in my room all day. My thoughts are just getting the best of me, to where it's like I feel like I'm just falling back into a state where I might start struggling again mentally. But I don't want that to happen, because I feel like God can really help me not fall into that state. But I'm also like at a point where it's just like I don't know what to do. Like I'm lost. So I know this is supposed to be me talking about verses and growing our knowledge, but if you guys have ever experienced this, where you find yourself overthinking or doubting the situation you're in, feel free to comment on what helped you get through it. It's kind of lost. I don't have this whole life thing figured out. I'm just getting through it one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, one word at a time. I've been trying to spend some more time in the Word, hoping that would help. And I've been listening to worship music on my computer, and it helps for a little bit, but after a little bit more time, it just stops working, and I fall back into that like depressed feeling. So I feel like the depression is starting to get the best of me again. I'm lost at this point. And I don't want to feel this way, but that's just how it is. I feel very lost right now, and know I'm being pretty vulnerable with this, but like I hate this feeling entirely because it's almost exactly what I just read about the verses today. Like I don't want to feel this way. I know my mind, I know what to do. I should be doing these things and it's going to make me feel better. But it's like I want to do it, but I also don't want to do it at the same time. Like I'm just so down that I genuinely just want to turn the camera off and go sleep. Like I have no motivation to do anything. It took basically every ounce of energy to set the tripod up and hit record and read and do this podcast, but I know I needed to do it because I had so many emotions building up all day that if I wouldn't have done this, things would have been very, very worse. And I don't know. I'm glad I did it. But that's going to be it for now. I will see you guys in the next one.